also have a question for you too, regarding conspiracy theories. So I'm kind of with you with a lot of stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not fully on board with flat Earth yet.
That's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
I was violently opposed to it. I was mad at people that would bring it up.
Right.
And that's normal. Everybody that's into flat Earth, it was very hard for them to get into it and admit it. It took like a year and a half for them to admit it.
Well, first it was just black dudes, basically. I feel like they were into it at first.
Yeah, I wasn't
like
into.
that.
I was violently opposed to it. But the one thing about flat Earth, you punch in flat Earth on YouTube, you're going to get all the debunkers. And like, why is there so many people working against it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're doing the exact same thing to flat Earth that they do to 9/11, JFK, Iran Contra. They got people producing debunking videos.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that if it's so stupid?
It's so
Why?
stupid.
And you should ask yourself, why is there a debate about it? How is there a debate still in this time with the internet? Why are people, there's so many people that are afraid to admit that they're looking into flat Earth because of the amount of ridicule you get. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was quiet about it, but I was against it. I was trying to, people kept coming up to me, have you looked into flat Earth? I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're crazy.
This is like a couple of years ago. I'm like, shut the fuck. Joe, I was on Joe's podcast and he would bring it up because dude, people are so dumb. There's some people out there still believe the Earth is flat. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are they really? There's people like that? And this was just a few years ago. I'm in my 40s.
Now you're thinking about
I
it.
kept trying to debunk it. Like
Right.
I would get in arguments with people, and that's the typical story. Everyone's trying to debunk it. And then the one thing that made me realize something was wrong is I always believed that the moon landings were faked. And that's what I thought NASA was. I thought NASA was in charge of the moon missions. I didn't think they were in charge of all space information. I thought there was all these scientists everywhere and they're figuring out, shit about the universe. And once I was looking into it, and I realized, oh shit, all these pictures of Earth from space, they're all CGI composites. And NASA admits it. They go, oh, you know what? We take the images and we take this information strips and then we get an artist to put together. I'm like, wait a minute. You guys aren't even getting real pictures of the fucking Earth from space? I go, I had the picture of Earth
where's
from
the
space.
bootlegs?
Yeah.
Where's them fucking space bootlegs?
And you get the Earth on your iPhone. That's the default. The default picture. I go, I had looked at Earth every day on my iPhone. I see that. I go, how are you going to tell me the Earth's flat? I see it. So the guy said, he goes, I got a master's in engineering. Look into it. And so I did, and I realized, damn. Then I started tracing these pictures back to NASA. Then I realized, wait a minute, NASA is controlling all our space information? I go, NASA does that? I thought they just did the moon and the space shuttle.
Yeah, you go back to look at. I mean, I know we talked about some flat Earth stuff today, which, when you think about it, has been around since the beginning of time. People thinking if the Earth is flat or round.
It's not something new.
It's not new.
No. They've been suppressing it. There have been books.
Yeah.
Scientists that put out books. Like Samuel Rowbotham, read his book. There's a lot of books going, dude, this is all bullshit what they're telling us. Back in the 1800s, early 1900s, it's always been around.
Yeah.
It's not like some new thing that Eric Dubé made up.
Yeah.
It's always been around.
Oh,
it's always been a debate.
Yeah.
Are we on a ball or are we on some fucking flat plane of some sort? Like nobody knows. There's no proof of anything. All we're saying is all the shit you're telling us. That shit don't fly.
Right.
It don't make sense.
Well, it shouldn't just fly. It should be questioned.
Yes, of course.
It should be questioned.
The conspiracy theory with gravity is that, and I didn't make this up. Gravity has never been proven. It's never been measured. Isaac Newton came up with it, and it doesn't hold water. Literally. If the reason why a helium balloon rises and doesn't get stuck to the ground is because helium is less dense than the air around it.
So you think it's just our weight? It's not gravity.
Density and buoyancy. Think about it. You throw a rock into the ocean, it sinks to the ground. You throw a tennis ball into the ocean, it just floats. Yeah. Because the air inside that tennis ball is less dense than the water. Anything that's less dense goes up. Anything that's more dense than the medium that holds it sinks.
So it's a density holding us down.
It's a density thing. How come how come with these amateur balloons we're not seeing any curvature at 121,000 feet? And Neil deGrasse Tyson said, that's not high enough. You need to go way higher.
Of course.
The Earth is so big. That's what he said. But then they got all these people are saying, dude, look out, get on a plane and look out a window. You could see the curve. Go, dude, that's 35,000 feet. And if Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying at 121,000 feet, you're still not high enough. And that's the max for these balloons. They can't get any higher.
Yeah.
If he's saying you need to go higher to see the curve, then how the fuck are people saying they see it at 35,000 miles on a plane? It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
does not make any sense. If anybody can explain that, Neil deGrasse Tyson, your own boy said that shit.
Yeah.
But if it's true, then the ball should bend at 6,000 feet per every 100 miles. So we should be able to measure the curve of oceans. Every 100 miles, there should be 6,000 feet of curvature. Yet you could go on YouTube and hear there's a video on a U.S. Navy quartermaster.
Mm-hmm.
He's a quartermaster. He works on like fucking battleships, and he says you can go on YouTube, just YouTube U.S. Naval quartermaster, and he explains. He goes, "There's no way there could be 6,000 feet of curvature at 100 miles because they're targeting and imaging ships at 100 miles. It would be impossible if there was a 6,000 feet curve.
Right.
There'd be no way they could target
Shoot it.
There should be 6,000 feet of curvature at 100 miles. So
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, and then
if the world is a ball with the circumference of 25,000 miles, then every 100 miles there should be 6,000 feet of dip.
And we don't
there
see
isn't. And also when you're on a plane, you should be every 5 minutes you should be dipping the nose
to stay within it.
Otherwise you just go right into space.
Yeah.
But they never dip their nose. They're just hovering over a plane.
Yeah.
They're just keeping. There's so many.
It's the dark arts,
goes
man.
on forever.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, there's websites out there that, like, have you heard of the Flat Earth Society? The Flat Earth Society is where, like, Obama is directing everybody. He brings it up because this is not a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. So he's sending everybody to the Flat Earth Society, which is a bunk website.
Yeah.
Nobody that's a true flat earther has gone through. They bypass the Flat Earth Society because
Right.
if you're
'Cause it's
first,
a trap.
exactly. If your first introduction to flat Earth, like you're curious, like everyone keeps talking about the flat Earth, and then you hear about Flat Earth Society because they pump that up. They want to send you there. You go and you punch in Flat Earth on Google. If you punch in Flat Earth on Google right now, the first thing's going to come up is the Flat Earth Wikipedia, which is all controlled and it looks ridiculous. And then the Flat Earth Society is right there. It's going to direct Flat Earth Society on the first page all over the place. So if you go to Flat Earth Society first, you're never going to believe in
fucked.
flat. Yeah, because
right.
they're going
and
to
that's
say
where they want to send you first.
And so to
you
turn
got to
you
still
away.
think for yourself. You cannot take
You gotta-
exactly
you know,
what
if you're
is said
curious-
out there.
if
You got to be wild.
If you're curious about flat Earth, there's a lot of people out there that there's a lot of great information. The YouTube channel Beyond the Imaginary Curve, great shit. Eric Dubé's YouTube channel, great shit. It really just comes down to I don't trust criminals. I don't trust them. So when people are fucking making fun of me and calling me an idiot for not trusting, I don't trust any science that I can't verify for myself.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to throw me in jail. If I don't trust some science any science that we can't verify for ourselves, we got to take someone else's, like some unknown scientist word for it. Like just the simple fact that the sun is supposedly 93 million miles away. Me and you have no way to verify that.
We have no
but
idea.
people will say, dude, they figured that out.
Yeah.
Look, I could Google it.
Right, well, so what? Somebody
in
wrote that down.
Someone
Yeah.
wrote that down. That's not proof to me. Now, if they were going to throw me in jail for not believing it, then I would say, I believe it. You know what I mean? Then they would have the right to call me an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, when people go, you fucking idiot, you don't believe that the sun's 93 million miles away. It says right there, they figured it out. NASA, you fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Now, they would have the right to say that if I was going to get thrown in jail.
Right.
Or if they, if you believe that and you sign something that you believe that, they gave you like a fucking $10,000 tax check or something like that, income tax, then they would go, you fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah.
That's $10,000. You're a
Right.
fucking idiot. But there is no money and there is no jail. So it doesn't benefit me to believe that the sun is 93
Especially
million.
not to benefit-
It may be.
It may be.
But they lied about so much shit.
Oh man,
I don't know.
And they
I
lie
don't-
constantly, and
yeah.
it's just untrustworthy. I mean, even how like some of these you'll have Bernie Sanders who would have won his political party, and then he gets land. He gets it's almost feels so much like how it's so obvious now
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we shouldn't be trusting
Yeah.
these powers that are around us. Questions.
I
from
don't
our
think there's
fans.
any hope.
You don't.
I don't think there's any hope. They're brilliant. The masters of propaganda, they're fucking brilliant. They got it down, dude. They got it down. And
So what do we do in the meantime to enjoy ourselves? Just enjoy it.
enjoy your family. Enjoy. I like to talk about it
Yeah.
because I'm obsessed with.
I like
finding
thinking
out
about
the
it too.
truth. I'm obsessed with finding out how we're being fucked.
Yeah.
We're being fucked every way you could think about it. It's all over the place. Mad propaganda, mad programming on TV. It's brilliant. They're getting the kids. They get the kids into space and dinosaurs quick.
Oh, yeah.
They give them that space and dinosaurs. You know why? Because by the time they're 15, there's no way they're going to question it. It's just like religion.
Right.
You get a kid into Catholicism, they're not going to question it. By the time they're 16, 17, they're like, there's no way you're going to convince that kid that there isn't a God.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Why is it so important to drown our kids in space? Man, it's space everywhere. You go to the mall, you go to a kid's shop, the kids got NASA clothes on and shit like that. It's brilliant. I don't think there's anything we could do about it. And I'm not gonna be one of those guys that are protesting with signs. I'm not gonna be a guy that's leading a revolution. I just want peace. But I like talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep talking about it, but there's nothing we could do about it. Look like Hillary Clinton. Look at all the evil shit that she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happening to her. Look at Bill Clinton. Nothing happening to him. They got some. People think
Skeletons.
yeah, like they got dead bodies all around. There's a Clinton body count. It's a meme now to talk about, make sure Hillary don't found out, you're going to get suicided. Like getting suicided, people know what that means. And it's not suicide. It's a fake suicide where they shut your fucking ass up. People that speak up, people that go after them too much, they get killed. Look at Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Chester from Linkin Park. Coincidentally, they were both into fighting child trafficking, hardcore. They got like Chris Cornell and his wife had the Chris and Vicky Foundation.
Yeah.
It's all about
And they're gone.
They're gone.
And they're gone.
They're gone.
But what do they get by eliminating us who begin to take back our will and our free thinking? What do they?
They don't want to get thrown in jail. That's what it is. In a sense, that's a sign. You know, the fact that people are being suicided and the fact that people are being bribed. The fact that that's going on means that, damn, if they got to bribe people and they got to suicide people, they're worried about some shit. Yeah. So they're not totally immune to
so that must be, yes, they must not be totally immune to us figuring it out.
Yeah, that's a little sign because, you know, I have faith. Generally, I'm thinking, people are too hypnotized.
I don't know, man.
They're hypnotized. Too many people are like, you fucking idiot, you fucking moron. Like, dude, I just don't trust mainstream information.
I agree.
That's it. You want to trust it? Go ahead. Don't call me an idiot. I think you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
For trusting criminals. You know they're criminals. Right now, think to yourself, you know the world is run by criminals, yet you trust them? You're the fucking retard.
Yeah.
Now I realize what the entertainment business is. The entertainment business isn't about exposing talent. It's about propaganda. It's a different way to brainwash people. It's just another way. It's when you're building an empire, you got to have control of everything. The sciences, energy, food, water, entertainment. It's all part of the mix. The entertainment isn't something that grows fucking organically and it's all about entertainment and pure art. It has nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that shit. It's another way to manipulate, to brainwash, to control. That's why movies suck.
Yeah.
The only movies that are good are every now and then a good movie comes out. It's like an indie movie or something.
Yeah, because we're starting to get too awake, and they don't want us. They want to keep us low.
The big blockbuster movies, get the fuck out of here.
Suck.
Do they fucking suck?
Everything with The Rock in it almost sucks.
Oh my god, it's retarded.
It's just him like carrying Kevin Hart around on his shoulder.
Yeah, movies suck because they're not trying to be good.
They're not trying.
They're trying to mold us. They're trying to mold us into what.
And it's almost like they think they have us pinned too. All right, we're gonna wrap it up because we got to get finished. But what is? Do we have one more question from?
So we got one final question to end this.